Between eerie nature, shockingly good food, and some of Europe's boldest buildings, welcome to Riga, Latvia's charming capital. In this video, we'll take you through the best of the city.
From medieval old town sites and leafy parks to jaw-dropping architecture, a surprise wilderness day trip, and even a taste of Riga's food and beer scene.
This is part 1 of 2 videos about Riga, so don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see everything we have to show you about Riga. And don't forget to sign up for our Taste and Travel newsletter. We will send you weekly recommendations for drinks, food, and things to do around the world. And now, let's dive into Riga. Cheers, everyone! Hello there, original travelers. Welcome to another video of ours. And this time we're in beautiful Latvia and we're in Riga. And we're going to show you some of the best things to do in this beautiful city.
Don't forget to stay until the end to find out why springtime is the best beach time.
Bold statement. Cheers, everyone! We begin in Riga's Old Town. On the Daugava River, this medieval core is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. History here is everywhere. Check out the House of the Blackheads, built in 3034 as a merchant's guild hall, rebuilt after World War II to host kings and presidents alike.
It comes to show that Riga has long been a great place for international relations. A favorite feature of mine in Riga are its great, green, lovely parks.
And if you thought only Amsterdam is a great place for a boat ride in the middle of the city, think again.
Skies now.
And most fittingly, an astronomy guy. Then we headed over to Victory Park, named in 1923 to mark Latvia's War of Independence. Today, it's packed with locals enjoying walks and picnics.
And you can't miss the huge oak tree decked out with intricate folk motif carvings.
And obviously, don't miss the beautiful Sakura garden. Reminds you maybe a little bit of Japan. By the way, we have a lot of videos about our travels in Japan, so you should check out the description box below. When I think of Riga, the first thing I think of is Baltic porters, but I think Simona thought of something else.
This is definitely the place to go for beautiful Art Nouveau architecture. Quick mentioning of Aveiro, we have a video about it, where you can also enjoy fantastic Art Nouveau architecture.
And just like in Aveiro, there is a tour to find out more about all of these beautiful buildings. The difference is, here it's a free tour, and you can just join it by signing up online and showing up on the meeting spot.
Are those familiar phrases? Something cool we learned on the tour is that Art Nouveau actually used to have catalogs with this type of figures that you could order from, so many cities use the same decorations.
But do you know what's more impressive than Art Nouveau? Cat Nouveau! We're not sure if this guy is part of the tour, but he definitely should be.
The tour ended in the Art Nouveau Museum. We still have to visit it, so tell us in the comments if you have been and if you enjoyed it.
But hey, don't forget to tip at the end. Next, we jumped from the old town's charm to the modern design, the National Library of Latvia, also known as the Castle of Light. This 13-story glass pyramid on the riverbank opened in 2014 and was inspired by Latvian legends of crystal mountains and castles glowing with light. From across the Daugava, its sloped glass facade really does look like a shimmering geometric mountain.
Another fantastic place if you're interested in photography or architecture. The entrance is free, but you do have to leave your bags and also take a visitor pass. You won't be able to enter the reading rooms with it, but you can still enjoy a lot of the architecture as well as the view from the top floor.
And there is a toilet. The library houses over 5 million books and manuscripts. One standout is obviously the People's Bookshelf, a huge atrium wall stacked with books from floor to ceiling. It feels like a staircase built from knowledge. Sorry, I know this sounds cheesy.
It actually sounds bookish.
Do you think they have many books about cheese?
I sure hope so.
As Simona mentioned, photography is allowed, so it's every Instagrammer's dream here. It is also a quiet contrast after all that bustling architecture. We also found it interesting that every level had like a color code. So if you get lost, just look if you're in the blue or the purple level, and then you're still lost, but colorfully lost. Oh, and did we mention that we love museum shops? And now it's time to escape Riga's bus and hop on a local train towards Jurmala and Kemeri. Riga's main train station might look a little bit confusing, but there is a sign that will point you towards Jurmala, and there will be your train. The train travels through spruce forests, wetlands, and sleepy suburbs, and it's already part of the fun. Obviously, we had to get some food for the train ride.
At Kemeri station, we walk into Ķemeri National Park, a vast forest and bog, founded in the 90s and spanning over 380 square kilometers.
But before, we obviously had to get some sweet treats, kohuke, which is a chocolatey, cheesy, fruity treat. It's really specific to the Baltics and you should absolutely try it. The national park is built along the Great Kemeri Bog, a floating peat ecosystem accessed via wooden boardwalks. There is also a small visitor center, which wasn't occupied when we visited, but they do have free maps and other info material. On the trail, we spotted birds like cranes and wood sandpipers, and if you're lucky, golden plovers or cloudberries growing in the wild moss. The scent is like earthy pine and moss with a hint of peat.
Sandro, this is not beer judging. Can you please just enjoy? And now, we'll stop talking for a second so you can actually enjoy the view.
And if you come here, absolutely do not forget to use your repellent. On our way back to the train station, we found an ice cream stand in someone's garden, built from a camper van. This place is cash only, but the ice cream here is fantastic.
Sadiums!
Another highlight outside of the national park is the old Kemeri Sanatorium, once a grand spa hotel for the Soviet elite, styled for mud and sulfur treatments.
And we could definitely smell the sulfur when we were walking around.
The spa hotel is mostly abandoned, but you can still feel its former grandeur. Architecture, again. And then we headed towards the train station to go to our next stop, Jurmala. We arrived at Dubulti station in Jurmala, long known as a Baltic coastal resort. It's early spring in this video, so the wide sandy beach is peacefully empty. We walked along the shoreline, cold water lapping at the heels, scenic wooden villas, and spa hotels in the distance. Everything was quiet except for the waves.
I think this is not only my favorite beach weather, but also my favorite beach day ever.
In the town center, walking down Jõemäe, you feel the international food scene waking up. Georgian bakeries, sushi, Italian food, you can find everything here. We caught a whiff of fresh Armenian food, which was really tempting, but instead we headed to Major Market, a small market and food stand that's one of Jurmala's best kept secrets.
Here you can find fantastic fresh seafood as well as ready meals.
And also many nice local products other than that, especially craft beers. I had a West Coast IPA, which is brewed in Jurmala, and also Simona had a local kombucha from Rudy's.
The lemon and ginger kombucha was a perfect addition to the Yield Pokeball.
We also tasted a really nice shrimp salad and a pad thai. Not typical Latvian food, but really well made. Good food, cold beer, and good vibes. And then we headed back to the train station and to Riga. Okay, quick culinary tip. Riga is a fantastic foodie city. Like every city, if you know where to look. In our next video, we dive deep into the food scene here, from Michelin-mentioned seafood restaurants to lively street food markets and the best late-night bites. Honestly, people should queue for those. Looking for the best place to grab a pizza and a good craft beer? We got you. We promise we have something for every diet. And we do have the famous garlic bread, of course.
We'll even hand down our favorite chocolate from the Baltics and a great ceremonial cocoa stop.
So hit subscribe if you haven't yet. And, oh, if you're heading to Zurich, check out our chocolate tour there. Link is in the description. It's truly worthwhile. And for the craft beer fans, don't worry, we didn't forget about you. You can also look forward to the next video. We're showcasing Riga's beer scene. We'll track down local IPAs and unique brew experiments. Have you ever heard of a pagan brewery?
We've even lined up a chat with a Latvian beer celebrity, who just might be Sandro's Latvian twin. If you want to meet the real Sandro and get solid beer tips, join one of our beer tours in Zurich or our newly added Lucerne tour.
You know where to find the link. In Riga, we'll sip with locals, sample unexpected ingredients, and maybe say "Uds veseli" with newfound friends.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video from Springtime Riga.
And now, as usual guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to have weekly updates for food and travel recommendations, don't forget to sign up to our newsletter. Cheers everyone! Our bonus tip for Riga is the Corner House. This was the KGB headquarters during Soviet times and today houses the Museum of Occupation of Latvia. It's not lighthearted, but it's an important place of remembrance and resilience.